Alright, we are on day 4 now. We still know a whole bunch. We're narrowing things down. I still think, out of everyone, the most suspicious people have been Athena. We just learned about Medusa. But I'm feeling real hard about, Athena being the suspicious one. Even though Apollo and Persephone were like, no, there's no way. I think, and they're trying to be like, Pan is the most suspicious of the people. I feel like Pan is a red herring. I don't think he can be fully trusted, but I think he's a red herring. And actually, he isn't I don't know, he might not be as bad as everyone is saying. Watch it be freaking Eros or something. It was Freddie. Freddie kills her. Yeah. Let's go actually talk to Freddie. See, we haven't hung out with Freddie too much. I was shocked when she just showed up out of nowhere.
Hey, so what's the news, Miss Muse?
Miss Muse?
Well, does a muse have a proper form of address? I just want to hear what exciting adventures you've been having.
Well, I, stopped the goddess of love from killing herself, I guess?
Whoa. Do gods have interventions? You know, they're nothing like I thought they would be. Everything else okay, though? Do we know who the killer is yet?
Not just yet, no.
Okay, well, let me know if there's anything I can do. If I have to hustle to become your high priestess, well, so be it.
Okay, I am a tad annoyed with Freddie. Because literally, Grace could die in a few days. And she's just laughing and living it up because, oh cool, gods exist. And she thinks it's some fantasy universe game. When it's dude, your best friend's life is hanging in the balance of some silly murder mystery. And you're just let's have a fun, good old time. That doesn't seem like a fun, good time. That seems kind of awful. What if somehow she knew that Calliope was gonna die in a car accident, and so she went and killed Calliope so she would pass it on to Grace, and she knew that Grace would be framed for the murder, and therefore she would have 7 days until she was killed, and then maybe thought she could get the freaking Eidolon that way so she could play around with the gods. That's my crackpot theory. This is probably not very likely, but it's my crackpot theory. Just because she's acting so weird about the situation. Yeah, how are Cass and Brian? Because they showed up at the beginning and we have never heard from them again.
What are Kaz and Brian up to? You didn't tell them anything, did you?
No, I told them you came home, that you're okay, but that you're having a moment. They send their love.
Should we tell them, do you think?
What for? They have their own problems. Plus, Brian can't keep a secret to save his life, and Kaz is officially homeless.
Is he still crashing on Brian's couch?
Grace, you do know that Brian doesn't have a couch, right? Just some giant beanbag things?
Then where is Kaz Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cute. They'll tell us when they're ready. But right now, it's best just to not mix them up in this.
Okay. But you know about gods.
Exactly how much do you know about the Greek gods, Freddie?
I know my Greek mythology, but what I've read clearly doesn't line up with who they are today. Or who they ever were, maybe.
Still might be useful. There's gotta be some truth to those stories, right?
Maybe? Who do you want to hear about?
Calliope?
Do you know anything about the Muses? Or Calliope in particular?
Yeah, for starters, there were supposed to be 9. Though I guess there are some sources that said there were only 4, maybe 3. Each of the muses had her specialty. Did you know that Calliope is supposed to be the muse of epic poetry? She inspired the Odyssey.
Wow. I don't even like poetry.
Yeah, it was said her singing voice was unmatched. So they got that part right, at least.
Did she also lead the ancient Greeks in giant choreographed dance numbers?
No, but she once turned a bunch of snobby princesses into magpies, so there's that.
Athena.
What about Athena? Is she really supposed to be the goddess of wisdom?
Sure, but mostly that's meant as tactical knowledge. Athena wasn't all sweetness and light. She was a warrior goddess. She was also the goddess of heroes. There are loads of stories where Athena helps guys like Odysseus or Jason or Perseus.
No female heroes back in those days?
Yeah, guess not. Women were the weaker sex, which maybe is why Athena was portrayed as being vindictive. She cursed Medusa, one of her own priestesses. She turned people into spiders, struck them blind, started the Trojan War. It's the whole thing.
Not being as wise as advertised is on brand for her, then.
Apollo.
What about Apollo?
Okay, so the prophecy stuff checks out. Apollo was god of the sun and light, but also kind of enlightenment in general. He's always talked about as this beautiful and cultured god involved with the arts and the muses, kind of a Renaissance man before the Renaissance.
He's clearly had a rough time since those days.
Well, he was also a giant horn dog, Grace. I can list off like a dozen men and women Apollo has had as lovers, and there's probably more.
Weren't they all like that, though?
I mean, Apollo's no Zeus. He never assaulted anyone as a swan. And no, they aren't all like that. Our sun god had a reputation.
Persephone.
Tell me what you know about Persephone.
Honestly, she's the least like her stories. Usually, she's either a victim or just the wife of Hades, or both.
And that's it? She was kidnapped by Hades, end of story?
Pretty much. Her mother was so angry she created winter. But otherwise, Persephone was just your average sweet and virginal fertility goddess.
You're right, that doesn't sound like her at all.
Must be hard to be defined by this one thing that happened to you thousands of years ago. I'd be pissed if everyone thought my story ended there.
Well, she is pretty pissed. That much is true.
Pan.
You said Pan was some kind of lust god, right?
Yeah, kind of. Pan's a god of the wild, and I guess that translates into a sort of lustfulness and earthiness, humping nymphs in the forest sort of thing.
And you don't like him.
Honestly, he's exactly what I'd expect him to be. All the stories say he's a lech and a beast. The Christians equated him with the devil. Weirdly, he's also the only god who's supposed to have died, though it's never really clear how or why. Anyhow, there's a great statue depicting Pan having sex with a goat. Next time you see him, you gotta ask him about it.
Alright, about the idols in general.
Just how many of these gods are there? From what I've heard, lots of idols live around here.
Well, there are tons of minor gods in Greek mythology, hundreds even, depending on how you define them. Oddly, there's never any mention of the word idols in relation to them. Maybe it's like how people worshipped idols?
I sort of assumed it was related to the eidolon.
Which is a Greek word, but I think it means ghost. An image of someone after they die.
Makes sense.
Me? I'm more amazed at all the big names missing. Not just Zeus and Hades, most of the Olympians seem to be gone. Makes you think about what's been lost. But also, what might still be out there.
Other gods.
You think there might be other gods out there?
Well, there are all those gods the idols say wandered off. We don't know they're dead for sure, right? They could be living it up in Australia. Who would know? Then there are all the other mythologies, hundreds of cultures, each with their own pantheon. So what's so special about the Greeks? That only their gods are real, right? And all those other pantheons could be living in secrecy, just like the idols. And that means they're hidden from each other, too. Oh, they could be everywhere and no one would know.
It's like a whole other secret side to the world.
Yeah, it's cool, right? I hope I get to meet Ganesha one day. Or maybe Lakshmi?
Thanks for setting up future games, Freddie.
I wonder how much of those stories are true.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I'm giving you the quick version. There are reams of textbooks out there covering all this, but even they rarely agree with each other.
Really? Nothing definitive?
Ancient Greece was 3,000 years ago, Grace. Not much information survived all that time, if it was even valid to begin with.
Bye.
Okay, that's enough questions for now.
You sure? I can talk all day. You know I can.
I'll check back with you soon, Freddie. Time for more mystery solving.
Alright, away. Let's talk to more people. Let's see if we can get as much information as possible before heading to Medusa.
Welcome back, Grace. Is there something you came to discuss?
No, I guess not.
No, that's okay. I'll see you later, Apollo.
Okay, never mind. None of this matters. I think I'll talk to Persephone on the next day. Let's go to Medusa's later.
This must be the Viper's Nest. Scariest part of town, no sign. Just that one dude glaring at everyone. Well, I'm here now. Just another day in the life of an idol.
Ugh, there you are. Man, this place is the worst. I think someone peed on me.
Freddie? What are you doing here?
What, you thought I wouldn't notice you skulking off? You didn't even bring any equipment, Grace.
Another thing, like, is like Freddie randomly popping up because I picked the green option at the beginning? Because that was the option in that one opening song, where I like picked all the options and said Grace was gonna do this on her own and choose no one. I mean, does this always happen? He should be here? This is bad.
Freddie, I left you behind for a reason. Don't you realize how dangerous this could be?
Do you not realize how dangerous this could be?
Yeah, but I'm an idol. You're...
Very enthusiastic. There are worse qualities in a mortal, I assure you.
Oh, it's you.
It is me. How exciting, no?
Pan, what are you doing here?
I'm the one who told you about this place. You didn't expect my curiosity to get the better of me?
Okay, so maybe they do just show up at these times no matter what. You pick during the song, or at the beginning of the game. It locks you into dialogue choices. Instead of going off what your majority is. Which I'm a little bit salty about. As I did not know ahead of time. Tell truth. Tell me he's not going to. Well, we can try.
Why are you really here, Pan? The truth this time.
I need to have some dastardly ulterior motive other than to be of assistance. For shame, Grace.
You just don't get it, do you? The act is wearing real thin.
It's true. I am a bad man, and I spoke poorly.
And? That's it?
I'd hope even you, Freddie, could see that advice from an idol might be useful here.
I suppose.
Can you both leave? You both leave. Alright. So, she really works for Athena.
Asterion said Medusa works for Athena. Is that right?
A truer description, I'd say, is that she's more Athena's servant. Poor thing can't survive on her own. So she's become whatever Athena needs. Spy master, enforcer, provider of garden statuary.
That doesn't sound fair.
It isn't. But keep in mind, Medusa is no helpless maiden. She is as clever as she is dangerous. And Athena knows it.
An option disappeared. Okay. So what's Medusa really like?
Medusa's clever and works for Athena, but what's she really like?
She doesn't exactly come to the parties, Grace. Medusa is an enigma to most of us. If idols hide in the shadows, she lurks in even darker places. She's an outsider, and she loathes us as much as she needs us.
Is she dangerous?
Let's just say we're all rather relieved she stays away.
Clearly, everyone has been telling you that she's dangerous. Every single person. Every last person you encounter says Medusa is dangerous. Maybe not Asterion. I don't know if he said she was dangerous. I don't think he did. Anyway. Well, what's your advice?
If you have any advice, Pan, I'm all ears.
Well, I assume you know how Medusa became what she is.
She used to be human, right? And then Athena cursed her. Pretty unfairly, too.
Now, however, Athena hasn't the power to undo her own curse. Or so she claims.
That's gotta suck.
Medusa isn't happy about it, no. Yet she survives because she must. As do we all.
Now, I'm very much thinking Athena is super, super shady.
Okay, enough talking. Time to do this.
See? That's the spirit. Now there's simply the matter of getting you in before she's aware you're here.
You're gonna help her do that?
Why not? You're more apt to become a statue than to be any true help, my dear.
Knock it off, both of you. I have a plan for getting inside.
A word of advice before we proceed. Once you find Medusa, make the number a knockout.
Confront Enforcer, find another entrance, use a distraction. Alright, confront seems like the badass option, which might not work, considering we are locked into the other one. Or maybe it's the charm one. Find another entrance, use a distraction. Find another entrance, probably the blue, use distraction. Let's use a distraction.
My good man, I'm wondering if you could help us with a little problem. You see,
That's your plan? You're just gonna walk up to him and ask? He doesn't care what our problem is.
If you could both
little does he know that you're my biggest problem. It's been snipe ever since I arrived.
Oh, and I guess you'd rather I
Nicely
left, huh?
done.
That would be convenient,
I'll just
wouldn't
keep
it?
them busy.
I'm not
while
going
I look
anywhere,
around.
goat man.
What a long day, hiding in the light. Such a long day, dreaming of tonight. This sacred bite. Hello, who's that there? You've messed up my flow. Just get your drink, girl, and take your seat. Oh, it's the muse. There are sacred bites, and then there's this sacred bite. So wrong, so right. I'm really gonna hate myself tonight.
Right, let's play. I'm sure you can bite, okay. But you get a fight today. You're fighting Grace this time. And this time's mine. This time.
For
is mine.
centuries, these heroes got sent to me. Each one of them bent to me.
Not meant to be this time.
This time and all time.
This time's mine.
This time's mine. This time just
This
like
time
every time.
is mine.
Now look into me. Your body goes freely every time as it tenders, turning jelly as it renders. What'd you say, Grace? You okay, Grace? Where's the game face this time? You are currently experiencing something I like to call the preparation. Any questions or comments? That's right, it is widely known that I can turn folks to stone. But oh, I won't this time. Cause this time I find dine. That oozy musy bloods my wine this time. Look into me. Oh, she's looking away. Hey, look
You flipped that hood. Then out came the snakes. Oh, you're so good. Finally, some steaks. Oh, the ice thing. What a difference an actual monster makes. Murdering muses.
helps me relax.
I should sound out Athena about your naughty night snacks. Me and Athena need to touch base. I'll say what I've seen.
I'm getting quite keen to chew off that face. Now look into.
Oh, snakes alive! I've killed a few times, you see. I murder Calliope. Say, would you like to be the murdery this time?
This time is fine.
If yes, then fine.
I just said fine. You're
This
trying to buy
time.
time. You're lost, little girl. No more Hail Marys. We both know the meal is you. The killer's me.
You don't know, you don't know.
I do know that you didn't.
Kill Calliope. So you know that it's true that I didn't do it.
No.
Yes, you do know, you know. Does that mean Athena knows?
No. Fine grace. I'll
To tell you I'm what? Bait? Not the feature show. Come on, try.
But you're
Let's go.
gonna suffer. No, not the bloody charms.
You think you can turn me to stone before I burn your snakes off? I'm betting you can't.
The lighter was my idea.
Alright, let's chill out. Everybody chill.
Hold off, you two. Let's give Medusa some space.
Okay, but if she so much as twitches, it's torch time.
Now Freddie's a thug. Love this for her.
You ready to talk?
Oh, fine. Fine. What exactly is it that you want, pretty muse?
Okay, why are you at the reliquary?
You were at the reliquary the night Calliope was murdered. I want to know why.
Blast! This is why I didn't tell Lady Athena. I knew it would come back to haunt me. I only followed pretty Calliope to the reliquary. I never spoke to her, never even caught up to her. I swear it.
That's what Asterion told us, more or less.
But you were there that night.
Yes, I admit it. Ugh, Lady Athena will have my head. She'll mount it on a pike. Whatever you might think of me, I had no part in the Muse's death. I did not even know she'd been attacked until I saw her fleeing.
And why were you following her?
You followed Calliope to the reliquary. Why were you shadowing her at all?
I am Lady Athena's spymaster, yes. Calliope has been trouble from time to time.
So you were spying on her.
I keep watch over every idol who no longer lives in Olympus, but especially Calliope. When I realized she was headed to the reliquary that eve, I followed. I had a duty to Athena.
We know why she didn't tell Athena, because she was, like, scared. Why did you find out why... Like, did you find out why Calliope was there, though?
Did you ever find out why Calliope went there?
I was never close enough to ask. When I drew near to the reliquary, that is when I saw the muse fleeing. She was frightened, bloodied, dying.
A tasty snack for you to hunt down.
I gave chase, yes, but to discover the truth. I knew Lady Athena would wish to know.
That does make sense from your perspective.
I didn't learn the truth until later. And then it was far too late.
What if Athena tried to frame Medusa for the murder, but instead somehow is like the plan changed, and that's how she ended up with Grace? Because if Medusa never caught up to her, then of course she couldn't get blamed either. And everything's pointing to Athena being the one. And Asterion said you two met.
Asterion said he caught up with you out in the fog. Is that right?
I thought he was the one who had attacked her. He is a great beast of a creature.
Oh, that seems rather unlikely. The bull's as gentle as a lamb.
Yeah, pretty much that.
Yes, I only realized my mistake once I caught up to him, and by then the muse was gone.
And you never found her afterwards?
I thought she might flee to her pretty home, or to the sharp and prickly Persephone. She did neither.
Yeah, she came to see me.
How can we believe you?
Why should we believe you? You did just try to eat me, remember?
I am telling you the truth.
Right, and not at all trying to cover your own ass.
You presented an opportunity. Oh, to taste the sweet, sweet blood of a hero once again. It's a problem. I've been working on it, I really have.
Oh, Medusa.
Well, what of you? The only reason I knew Calliope was going to the reliquary is because you informed me.
Well,
Speaking of covering one's ass...
it is true. But Grace, I can explain.
I'll bet you can. Let's put a pin in that for the moment, shall we?
I am a monster. It's true, I do not deny it. It's still, I did not kill the muse.
I trust that she didn't do it. I 100% trust that she did not do it. Yeah, I trust that Medusa didn't do it. It's Athena. It's gotta be Athena. Unless somehow someone else shows up in these last few days, I'm banking on Athena.
You haven't told Athena any of this?
Do I need to light things up again? 'Cause I'll do it.
Chill.
I told her Calliope was at the reliquary that night. I did not tell her I was also there.
Why not? Wouldn't Athena find out from Hecate anyway?
I was not thinking clearly. I panicked. Lady Athena barely tolerates my presence as it is. If she thought I was involved in any way, if she even suspected...
I feel like she was trying to get rid of Medusa by framing her for the murder.
Okay, let's say we believe you. For the moment.
Whatever you do, pretty muse, I beg you. Do not tell Athena of my indiscretion. Show mercy. I know what I am horrifies you. It horrifies me as well. I cannot help what I am. I did not ask to be cursed like this.
I will think about it.
Indiscretion, huh? It's quite the word for it.
I cannot apologize for my hunger. I can only apologize that I am so very weak in the face of it.
I'll think about it.
I am a lost and cursed thing. No idol. If Lady Athena should learn the truth, I hope you find what you seek, pretty muse. And that we meet again someday. And sing a different song.
Yeah, I trust her.
Okay, so that was fun. Grace, I'll meet you back at home.
Where'd you get a mace from?
Now, before you say anything...
You knew. Right from the start, you knew Calliope was there that night.
Well, yes. She asked for the key and I gave it to her, no questions asked. I never lied to you, Grace. I said I didn't know what became of Calliope at the reliquary, and I didn't. But I wanted to, so I nudged you in the right direction.
Yeah. And it's like clearly what he was doing. Without saying, hey, she was there. I'm guessing there's a very good reason as why he can't, like, be direct about anything. Why'd you do that?
Why? Is there some reason you need to know what happened to Calliope?
Is that so strange? Don't we all desire justice?
You sent me to the reliquary because you wanted justice.
I am trying to help, Grace. In my way.
What do you mean, in my way? What way is that?
The way where I don't take all the blame.
What else will I discover, Pan? I'd rather learn it now than later.
I wish I could tell you, Grace. I truly do.
Yeah, Pan is a red herring because everyone's already suspicious of him.
Oh, if it isn't, the lovely Grace?
You knew. Right from the start, you knew Calliope was there that night.
What?
Well, yes. She asked for the key and I gave it to her, no questions asked.
Okay.
I told you I didn't know what happened to Calliope, and that's the truth. I did not. So I nudged you in the right direction.
Okay, this is weird. I think this is a glitch. So I guess they don't always show up there. I think I broke something. Because this is the exact same conversation. This is slightly different. Okay, what'd you do?
Why? Is there some reason you need to know what happened to Calliope?
Yes, same conversation.
Is that so strange? Don't we all desire justice?
You sent me to the reliquary because you wanted justice.
Medusa learned that Calliope was going to the reliquary because I told her. Now, before you say anything, I had no idea of the fate awaiting our dear muse. And you yourself said Medusa was not responsible. I simply had to know if I'd inadvertently, rather innocently...
Is it? But then I can't pick the other ones. Of like, okay, so this is broken. So I'm guessing this is what happens if you're going like the badass path where Grace does everything by herself. But it's broken because at the beginning I picked the charm thing. So now I don't know if the game is just broken completely and it's been glitched from the start, or if I was only supposed to do like somehow just only supposed to do like the green answers and do the green part of the song, and somehow mostly doing the red parts like broke the sequence somehow. And now the game thinks I was doing that. This is really weird. I think the game might be like bugged. I don't want to say you sold her out. I just don't believe you.
You really expect me to believe that?
I was hoping, yes.
What else will I discover, Pan? I'd rather learn it now than later.
I wish I could tell you, Grace. I truly do.
That was interesting. Day 5, I've broken the game.